Went correctly. It looked like it froze, however I was filming it, but I'm hoping it went live to Facebook. I've got a police officer stood in front of me. For those who haven't seen, he's the security guard has reported me. They've sent a policeman down. I've made it quite clear I'm exercising my right of freedom of speech and freedom to protest at the state of UK mental health care. 1 in 4 people suffer mental health problems. 17 people a day end their lives as a result of suicide. I'm just filming the person now. Police officer is taking down my details. You will see, officer, that my registration is actually on file at the CAD, the computer-aided dispatch system, because I also staged a protest outside Buckingham Palace yesterday, officer. And they sent some police officers down. We had a peaceful interaction. I've got all the footage and everything. So Officer Scott, you know, I'm going to be in London until I've caused a positive change revolution for UK mental health care. So I'd quite like to work with the authorities to ensure I can exercise my right of freedom of speech and freedom to protest. Because the Tory government, officer, are tearing the country apart. And the people in power all over the world, like Donald Trump, for example, he's trying to build this insane wall across the bottom of America, and we should be breaking down borders and boundaries, officer, not putting more up. There's enough division and hatred and fear in society at the moment. I'm making a stand. I'm fed up of it all, officer. When the Tory government privatise the police force and sell it off to G4S so they can employ security guards minimum wage to do your duty, officer, you'll be out of a job. So it affects you as much as me. You know, it's a bad situation. I'd keep an eye out for Theresa May. She doesn't care about you. She doesn't care about me. She doesn't care about homeless people. She don't care about homeless people with mental health problems. She don't care about the LGBT community that I am campaigning for. I'm helping homeless people. I'm helping all these people. I've set up a peer-to-peer mental health support community on Facebook. You know, I'm making a difference, officer. I set this campaign up on the 16th of May. I've added well over 400 people to my network since that time. You know, I'm trying to be productive because they don't care. They don't care about anybody other than themselves. And they want to drop bombs on poor people because it earns them money in, you know, third world countries and stuff, officer. The government are tearing the country apart. I'm making a stand. That's what it's all about, officer. Hello, officer. We have another policeman down here. Can I take your name, officer?
Yeah, it's Sergeant Simpson.
Hello, Sergeant Simpson. And your name, officer?
PC Railton.
PC Railton. I was just telling your colleague here, officer, that I'm staging a peaceful protest at the state of UK mental health care and the fact that the Tory government want to privatise the NHS. They want to privatise the police force and sell it off to G4S. So you'll be out of a job if they go through with their wicked schemes. I'm playing music because I spread peace, love, positive vibes and mental health awareness by connecting to people through music. I'm going to be organising a series of festivals and gigs all over the country with free on-site counselling at these events, paid for by ticket sales, you know, and bar sales. And if I set up a festival, you know, it would be pitch fees from businesses on site. That, in my opinion, and in the opinion of over 400 people I've put into my network in the last, you know, since the 16th of May when I started this campaign, they all believe in me as well, officer. So hopefully you think it's also probably quite a good idea because sadly, if you suffer from mental health problems and you can't afford to pay for private care, you're put on a year's waiting list, officer. And do you think that's acceptable? A year waiting list when you're suicidal, officer. I personally have been suicidal 3 times in the last 2 years. Thankfully, I had enough money to pay for private treatment. However, not everybody does have. So what's your thoughts on that statement, officer?
About your mental health?
No, about the state of UK mental health care.
To be honest, I wasn't even listening.
Oh, okay,
I was
officer.
reading the sign.
Okay, well, thank you for reading the sign. You can see on social media, hashtag CD buy ban. I was also in the news recently for selling Donald Trump toilet paper on Friday at the demonstration. There's over 250,000 people on the streets of London, all staging a peaceful protest and dancing in the street. All I'm doing, officer, is playing...
Are you selling it?
I'm not, sir. No, I bought it for my bedroom, but I thought it looks nice, so I'll have it on display. Yeah, thank you. I'm not too sure, there was a guy selling it at Piccadilly, or down Piccadilly. There's a big fence of it all kind of down there.
What's the other one?
Go and have a look, officer. Come and see.
Oh, you got a proper setup.
I have got a proper setup. Yeah. Yeah, that's the other piece. I don't know, but I thought it looked quite cool, so it looked good on my bedroom wall. So I've got cones, officer. If I've got cones, it means I'm on official business, because people in high vis and using cones are on official business. I'm a mental health awareness campaigner. I'm affiliated with the Samaritans. Look, officer.
Sir, I haven't got your name.
My name's Chandog, officer.
Chandog, how you doing? I'm Sergeant Simpson. I've spoken with event control for this event, sir.
Okay.
They've informed me the road closure.
They let me through all of the
appreciate
checkpoints,
that.
officer. It's their problem, not my problem.
Okay, I appreciate that. We've spoken to them. They stated you came through that road closure
They
by
let me
saying you were
through.
making the delivery.
No, that's a lie, officer.
Okay.
I should have filmed it. I said
Okay,
I'm
whatever
staging a
happened there,
protest.
we weren't there and we didn't see
Yeah,
it.
I
sir.
should have filmed the interaction, officer.
Okay.
That is a complete lie, because
Okay.
they're trying to cover their
Sir?
backsides.
Sir?
Officer, with all due respect, that is a lie. I said I'm staging a protest. I gave one of the guys a flyer, the guy on the first checkpoint.
Yep.
I said it's a protest. They're lying to cover their backsides. They know they've messed up.
Okay, sir.
However, officer,
Sir,
they're lying.
If you'll listen to me for 2
I
seconds.
will listen to you, officer.
The organisers of the event today, which is a run, a 10k run.
Yes,
which
I
will
won't
have
be
multiple
moving the
thousands
van.
of people,
Yes.
okay, they have a traffic management order. Okay,
Yes.
that traffic management order has been signed, which allows them to say no traffic's allowed through this zone.
Well, they
Roads
shouldn't
are
have let me
closed.
through then, officer,
Okay,
should
I
they?
appreciate that. However, you will not be able to park here. You will need to leave. Okay,
Well-
you won't be able to protest here. You will need to leave.
It's a peaceful protest, officer.
I appreciate it's a peaceful
I'm
protest.
entitled to my
and
right to freedom of speech, of freedom to protest, of freedom
You
to
are.
assemble. I'm allowed to play music between the hours
Sir.
of 7 a.m. and 11 p.m.,
Sir.
which is what I intend to do, officer.
You are allowed to do that. However, with a traffic management order, you cannot do it here.
Can I see the paperwork, officer? I'm quite
you
interested to see. And I'd also like legal advice on the matter as well, and I
Okay, we
understand
can't
that.
provide legal advice. You'd obviously have to seek that yourself. The police aren't here to provide you legal advice.
Well-
However, there is a traffic management order in place. I will get the details of that.
Yes, if you could,
However,
officer, if you could
you
get
will
the
not be able
paperwork.
to stay here, okay?
I'd like a copy of the paperwork for this order delivered to me down here at my stand. When I've had a chance to read it, officer, when I've read the paperwork and I decide that there is a law stipulating I can't be here because there's no signs. If you notice, there's no signs saying I can't park here. The security people let me through the checkpoint. They also lied to a police officer because they said to me, I said I'm exercising my right of freedom of speech, of freedom to protest. I'm parking outside Parliament. I'm setting up a mental health awareness stand with flyers for the Samaritans. It's a peaceful protest, officer. I'm here. There's vehicles on site. There's a vehicle in there. I'm a vehicle. As you notice, this vehicle can't move anywhere, officer, because there's a lot of stuff set up around it. I'd like to work with the police and maybe, have some stewards down here to manage the event. However, I spread peace, love, positive vibes and mental health awareness by connecting to people through music. Hence, I've got a sound system there because I'll be playing music. I can agree the level of sound with you. However, I do need to have the sound system and the vehicle here because A, I've got a lot of stuff to transport, and B, it's all part of my campaign, which is called, as you can see, Chandog's Vibe Van.
I appreciate what
It's
you're
not
saying,
called
sir.
Chandog's Vibe
Sir,
stand
no
or
one is here
table.
to
Or...
prevent your peaceful right to protest, okay? But if there is a signed traffic management order preventing you from being here, it will have to be somewhere else.
I
I'll
haven't
speak
seen
with
that,
event
officer.
Control, and then we
Yes.
can speak further, okay, sir?
Thank you, officer. Thank you. The police officers now are speaking to event control about an alleged traffic management order or something. When I see the paperwork and if I see there is actually a law that I can't be here, they shouldn't have let me pass the security checkpoints. And they also lied to a police officer because I should have filmed the interaction with the stewards manning the security checkpoint down on the embankment, because I made it quite clear to them I was parking outside Parliament to stage a protest. They've now lied to a police officer. I've got this on camera. I can go and point out the individuals to the police officer who was lied to. I guess lying to police officers probably isn't a good thing to do, so I can report them because now they've caused me an inconvenience and potentially affected my credibility as a mental health awareness campaigner, because I don't lie. I tell the truth 100%. So I'm going to keep this live stream going whilst I've got police around me for my own protection, and so my viewers, of which there's 4 of them, can see what's going on at the moment. We're starting to live in a police state, guys. You know what's going on in the world. This is a police state. I'm exercising my right to freedom of speech and freedom to protest, and they've sent a load of police officers down to try and stop me doing that. It's unacceptable. What the hell is going on? Theresa May, I'm calling you out. This country's in a mess. You need to help people with mental health problems. You need to help them quickly. So I don't know what's going on in this country. Look at the police they've sent down for this peaceful protest. We've got Sergeant Stephen Simpson, and what was your name, sir?
PC Railton.
PC Railton. And the other officers left, so yes. I'm going to be filming live. This is going on social media. Currently we've got 4 viewers, officers. So, you know, it's for my protection.
That's no worries, sir.
Hello, sir. Hi viewers, this is called Fighting for What You Believe In. I believe there should be a positive change revolution to UK mental health care. I've made a stand. I'm defending myself against 3 police officers on my own, but I've got the power of a live streaming camera. So yeah, you know, I can protect myself, and I can protect the people, the 1 in 4 people in the UK who suffer mental health problems, because I'm protesting outside Parliament today at the state of UK mental health care. 17 people a day end their lives because they're left alone. You know, the government don't care about people with mental health problems. They don't care about the LGBT community. They don't care about the fact there's thousands of people on the streets who are homeless, often suffer from mental health problems, or if you end up on the streets, you can develop mental health problems. It's a serious issue. When they privatise the police force and sell it off to G4S, when they privatise the police force and sell it off to G4S, these guys will be out of a job anyway, because they can then employ security guards minimum wage, or like £8 or £10 an hour or whatever it is. You know, they're going to be paying to the security guards. The Tories don't care about you, officer. You're paid too much money, so therefore they'll be paying private security contractors to take on the role of police duties. Do you think that's acceptable, officer? Do you think it's acceptable, officer? No comment. It affects you, officer. Do your research, officer. Do your research. I've done my research, hence I'm set up down here outside Parliament, because I've done my research. I'm allowed to protest. I'm allowed to play loud music between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. Then the council can come down and investigate a noise nuisance. However, you notice the time is after 7 a.m. and before 11 p.m. Therefore, officer, I'll be down here till 11 p.m. Just for the new viewers who've joined, I'm staging a peaceful protest outside Parliament. There's a large event on here today. There's a marathon going on. They let me pass the security checkpoint. They shouldn't have done that, however they did. I've set up my stand here. As you can see, the stand is set up. I was playing music, however I haven't had time to get it linked up to my laptop and play the music, but it's more important that I film the police interaction now for my protection. So that's what I'm doing. So I'll continue to remain live for the duration of this police interaction, for my protection, the protection of my property, and the protection of my rights of freedom of speech and freedom to protest. That's what this is. It's a protest. It's a protest at the state of UK mental health care. It's a protest at the fact 1 in 4 people struggle with their mental health. 17 people a day end their lives. This cannot continue. My mission is to bring about a positive change revolution to UK mental health care by setting up a series of music events across the country with free on-site counselling, funded by ticket sales for the event. That is positive change revolution to UK mental health care. Hello, officer. Have you
Hello,
come
sir.
to any conclusions?
So the supervisors are speaking to get a copy of the traffic management order for you, sir.
Okay.
I've spoken with my inspector, who's the bronze commander for this event.
Okay.
Okay. If there, like we're saying, there is a traffic management order in, we will be able to show you a copy of it.
I'd quite like to see the paperwork.
And that will mean
sir.
you will have to move the vehicle.
Once I've seen the paperwork.
Once you've seen the paperwork, if you don't have the relevant authority, which you don't, the SFM is saying, you will have to move the vehicle or the vehicle will be removed.
Well, it's my property, so I've paid for it all. I've funded this campaign personally out of my own money. I've spent £6,000 on the campaign.
I understand that.
Therefore, I need to get some money back, which is why I was selling Donald Trump toilet paper. I'm in the news for that. Donald Trump toilet paper at the demonstration on Friday. There's no signs here, officer. There's no signs here saying I can't be here.
Abingdon Street is part of the closures, the outer closures.
Yeah, there's no signs here. The security guards let me past all the checkpoints. They also lied to a police officer. I could point out the individual. I made it quite clear. I gave him a flyer that I was staging a protest outside Parliament. He said there's an event on. I said it's fine. I'm staging a protest.
Okay, sir.
I'm exercising my right of freedom of speech and freedom to protest. If you want me to point out the individual officer,
sir,
I will do.
Sir, I appreciate that whatever's happened between you and the security steward who let you in,
he's lied to you, officer.
may have occurred.
He's
However,
lied to you,
the point
officer.
in fact is there is a traffic management order. You aren't allowed to be parked here.
Well, I'd like
and when
to
we
see
show
the
you a
paperwork.
copy of the traffic management
Yes.
order, you will need to move your vehicle to an area outside of the event of footprint where you can carry on this
Well,
protest.
I'd like to be within the event, but I can work with you to find a suitable solution that works best for us.
There will be no suitable solution other than you leaving the event area. There is a traffic management order that means you will have to leave.
Well,
Anywhere you want to that is outside of this event footprint will be suitable. However, you will have to discuss that with the relevant police if you're causing obstruction there.
Well, I'm not
However,
causing
here,
obstruction, officer. Look, if you notice, I'm parked well out of the way of
reason
the
you're not
highway.
causing an obstruction here is because the roads are closed. The reason the roads are closed is because there's a traffic management
They
order
let me through,
which requires
officer.
you to move that vehicle.
They
That
let me
doesn't
through.
matter, sir.
They
Whether
let me
they've let
through.
you not or through. These
And they lied
checkpoints-
to you as well. so-
Okay, whether or not that's happened,
It did happen, officer.
we'll have to take different sides of it because I've been told by a supervisor that that's not what happened.
They lied to you,
Okay, so there's
officer.
two sides to that story.
They lied to you, officer. I could point out the individual
Okay,
who
I
let me
appreciate
through.
that, sir. What I'm trying to deal with is the here and now.
Yes.
There is a traffic management order. This vehicle will
Well,
need to be moved.
I'd like to see the paperwork.
They're getting a copy of it, and
Thank
once you
you.
see that, I'd ask that you work with us and please move your vehicle outside of
Of course,
the footprint.
officer. As you can see, it's probably going to take me a while.
That's no worries, sir.
I like listening to music when I'm working, so I'll be listening to music for the duration of me taking down my event stand.
That's
okay,
no worries,
officer.
sir. We'll speak with the supervisor.
Because I'm allowed to play music between the hours of 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. I'm not trying to be difficult, officer. However, I'm exercising my right of freedom of speech and freedom to protest because
Sir,
the state of UK mental health care is in a mess.
I appreciate
It's in a
what you're
mess.
saying. I appreciate the cordial.
The Tories don't care about you. They don't care about
I
me.
appreciate that. However, when we provide you with a copy of the traffic management order and ask you to leave, I will ask you that you leave as quickly as possible. There is an event here today.
Well,
for the security
I've
of
set
these
up a
people.
stand, officer. It's taken me a while to pack down. I need to protect my sound equipment and everything. I don't want to damage anything,
I
so I'll be
appreciate that.
taking it down in my own time. I won't be
appreciate that.
rushing either.
No one's rushing you.
That's
However,
all right,
there is an
officer.
event that will be going through here, so we will need you to leave once we present you with a copy
Well,
of the
once
traffic
I've seen the paperwork, officer, and I'm made aware that there's actually a law to stipulate I'm not allowed to be here today. Once I've seen that law, I will comply with the law.
Absolutely, sir.
However, I've not seen a copy of the law, therefore I'm not moving yet. Okay, officer?
Okay.
I'm just exercising my rights.
Sir,
People
could I ask
should.
you to stop the vehicle idling, if possible?
Why?
There's a bylaw in Westminster, you're not allowed to keep vehicles idling.
Well, it was running my sound system, but as the sound system isn't running, yes, I will comply with
I
that
appreciate
bylaw.
that. Thank you. Did you travel far today, sir?
No, sir. I was sleeping in the van in central London because I was complying with parking laws, and it says I'm allowed to be there on a Sunday. So,
Okay.
just for hi Ben, how you doing? Yeah, just to let you know, I'm staging a protest outside of Parliament. I had my sound system and everything set up. I'm staging a protest They let me past security checkpoints along the embankment because there's a marathon or something going on with thousands of people. It's perfect publicity for my campaign because 17 people a day end their lives as a result of suicide. It's a tragedy. 1 in 4 people suffer with mental health problems. That's approximately 16.5 million people in the UK. We're at a crisis point. I'm sorry. Police officer just going towards my vehicle. I'd like to film the interaction.
I'm reading your sign.
That's all right, officer. It's just for my protection and the protection of my property. I was set up at a music festival in Cheltenham called the Midsummer Fiesta. I was selling Donald Trump toilet paper off my stand there, officer, and I made the news for it. You can look it up. If you go on Gloucestershire Live and Google Donald Trump toilet paper Cheltenham,
How much were you selling it for?
It's £3 a roll or 2 for a £5, officer, and 40% of the proceeds go to my campaign.
Pretty expensive, isn't it?
Well, it's pretty expensive to buy a van, laptop, sound equipment, marketing material. So there's the Donald Trump toilet paper, officer. It's the last remnants of it. I believe my contact imported it from China. Yeah, we've got plenty in stock, officer, so you'll see me in London selling more Donald Trump toilet paper soon because I'm well aware I need a peddler's permit, which I've applied for, and it's in the post. So expect to see lots of Donald Trump toilet paper in London very soon, officer. Because it's funding my mental health awareness campaign, which you could probably gather as a slight anti-establishment agenda to it as well, because the establishment don't care about vulnerable people in society. They'd happily let people die on the streets and commit suicide who suffer with mental health problems. They don't care. They don't care about you, they don't care about me, they don't care anyone unless they're rich, basically. And I've got quantifiable research to support that opinion as well. And 250,000 people, officer, were on the streets.
Oh, yeah, two different types.
Yes, 2 different types, officer. We've got pouty Trump and pointy Trump or angry Trump, officer. So yeah, they're quite humorous. Lots of people enjoyed wearing them around their heads and dressing themselves up as mummies in Donald Trump toilet paper in the at the demonstration. It was quite funny, officer.
So what was the significance? Is there any with the stars?
Sorry?
Your star pillows?
No, it's just decoration, officer, that's all it is. So, but no, the significance with Donald Trump being associated to my anti-establishment mental health awareness campaign is that I spread peace, love and positive vibes, and Donald Trump is the antithesis to my campaign because he spreads fear, hatred and division and negative vibes. Therefore, his face is printed on toilet paper, and I can sell it legally with a peddler's permit to fund my campaign, because I've spent £6,000 on the campaign so far, officer, of my own money. I need to bring some back in. So I met somebody in the street selling it out of a shopping trolley. I immediately befriended him, and now he's working with me to help me earn an income from my campaign now.
What's the 2p?
It's hashtag CDP2P. As you can see, I need to work on the signage for my van, officer. I found a company who's going to get me some magnetic signs I'll be sticking to the van. However, my first signage was done with masking tape, officer, because as you can see, I'm on a bit of a budget. But now I found an organisation who can do me magnetic signs.
The other side, got the rest of it there?
Yeah, there's a poster there, officer. But the hashtag is there. It's
oh, I see the 2p now.
Hashtag CDP2P. Yeah. No, hashtag CDP2P is a hashtag for a peer-to-peer mental health support community I've set up. I'm actively helping people with mental health problems. We have an admin who's volunteering for me at the moment, but I will be offering them a job as well when I structure the company accordingly and become a CIC, which is a community interest company. I've also had an offer from an organisation who can go out and fundraise for me. Out in the streets and, you know, do bucket shaking and all that sort of stuff to fundraise for my campaign. This campaign isn't going to stop, officer, until I've brought a positive change revolution to UK mental health care by setting a series of music festivals and gigs and stuff all over the country. We're free to use on-site counselling for people suffering mental health problems, and that will all be funded by ticket sales, officer. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think any awareness of mental health is a good idea.
Thank you, officer. Yes, because it affects 1 in 4 people in society, officer. It's a very serious issue, especially as 17 people a day end their lives as a result of suicide. Hi Kat, how you doing? I've seen you just joined, and Steve and Aaron Keane. Just for those of you who joined, I've set up a protest stand playing loud music outside the Houses of Parliament, right in the middle of central London. Here, there's my van and the sound system. Yeah, I set up this stand. There was an event on today. There's actually a marathon going on. The security guards let me pass the checkpoints. They shouldn't have done. Now they're trying to lie to the police officer by saying I was doing a delivery. That was a lie. I made it quite clear I was going to Parliament to stage a protest. Therefore, all interactions with all security guards and stewards will now be filmed for my protection and as evidence to use if anyone else wants to lie and try and make my life difficult. Hi Gemma, how you doing? I'm staging a protest outside Parliament. You can watch the history of this video when I've uploaded it, but I've repeated it several times already. But I've staged a protest outside Parliament. There's a large marathon on. The security guards let me through checkpoints, and now the police are involved. That's why I'm live, filming it for my protection and for the viewers who are watching as well.
It's a 10k.
10k, is it? It's not a marathon. Okay.
Factually correct.
Keen, yeah, you can see my art. I bought it off a dude in central London by Piccadilly. There's the art. There's one picture there. And there's the other picture there, Keen. What do you think? Do you want some for your house? He's got absolutely shed loads. Like, I know where the guy's parked. The joys of technology, eh? For my protection, I can now film this live and I can have viewers and everything for my protection. I was waiting for technology to catch up. I wanted a revolution back in 2008. However, I didn't know how to put it off. But now I do. It's by helping people, because the establishment don't want to help people. So if you help people, immediately you've started a revolution, because it's doing something different to what the establishment do. That is, I believe, the definition of a revolution. We now have several police officers approaching me, so I'll be filming the interaction live for the 5 viewers that I've got.
Hello, sir.
Hello, officers. How you doing? Can I take all of your names, please?
Right, I am Inspector Andy Lewis.
Hello,
I am
Inspector
for
Lewis.
the event today. You're filming me, I'm filming you, so we're all happy.
Yes, we
Right.
are. I'm live.
Right,
I currently have some viewers. Can I take your name, officer,
Listen,
please?
I'm Sergeant Hannah Hayes. Nice to meet
Hello,
you.
my name's Chandog. I'm a mental health awareness
Hello,
campaigner.
Right, you need to listen to the officer.
I am
okay?
listening.
Very quickly.
Please stand back, officer. It's for my protection, so I can film the interaction.
Be quiet and listen.
I am listening.
Very quickly to me, look at me and I'll you know what's going to happen. Right. You are in breach of a traffic management order.
I haven't seen the
Right,
order, sir.
Listen to me. I'm not here to get into an argument with you.
I'm not arguing,
If you listen
sir.
to me, you're probably actually going to agree with what I'm going to tell you, okay?
Okay, if I could see the paperwork,
No,
officer,
listen
I
to
might
me.
agree.
You're not
Stop
listening to me.
talking.
You're in breach of the traffic management order. However,
They let me through,
right,
officer.
Stop
no,
talking.
listen to me.
I'm allowed to
You're
talk.
Yeah, but you're not
You're not
You're not
listening.
letting me finish. You're in breach of a traffic management order.
Can I-
Let me finish.
Okay.
I'm quite satisfied about that. But, however, at this moment in time, there is you and a single van.
Yes.
And you are distracting my officers from other things that they need to be doing, which is
Well,
more important.
I-
So, let me finish. At the moment, yes, you have a right for peaceful protest, which I will quite happily, under the Human Rights Act, observe.
Thank
Because
you,
I'm implied
officer.
to do that.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you stay here.
Thank you, officer. That's
All
very
I'm going
much
to say
appreciated.
is the following.
Yes.
If you do decide you are leaving this area, the only way you can go is that way.
Yes, officer. I'll
Because
leave
otherwise-
after the event.
Right,
if
because
that's all
otherwise
right.
you're going to head back further into the road closures and the TMO, and
Yeah.
you will not be allowed to do that.
Okay, officer.
So if you leave, you go that way. You
well-
do it in a sensible and controlled manner,
Of course,
at a low
officer.
speed,
Yeah, of
bearing
course,
in mind
officer.
what's going on.
I intend to
I
leave
will-
at 11 p.m. this evening, officer.
Right.
And I intend
That-
to play music because I'm allowed to play music between the hours of 7 a.m. and 11 p.m.
Listen to me, I'm
Let
not
him
going to
finish.
get into the ins and outs of everything else you want to do. I'm allowing you to stay here. is
Thank
what
you,
I'm
officer.
saying.
I really
So we are
appreciate
going to
it.
go.
Thank you,
We are
officer.
going to carry on what we're doing.
Thank you, officer.
As long as we've got a general agreement that that vehicle is not going to go anywhere where it's
No,
not, shouldn't
officer,
go.
I don't plan on moving it until 11 p.m. this evening.
Right,
So
lovely
what
then.
time does the event finish, officer?
The run will be over by 2 o'clock at the latest.
Well, there we go then.
Right.
So I'll be on site until 11 p.m. So I'll even help you guys tidy up if you like,
All right,
officer.
thank you
Rather
very
you
much.
probably didn't do that, but the runners and the children who are running, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sergeant.
They'll probably enjoy the music, officers. So as you can see, standing up for your rights and rights to protest and rights to freedom of speech has achieved a positive outcome, because the police officer now letting me to stay on site outside Parliament with my van, with the sound system, because I stood up for my rights and what I believe in. If people stand up for their rights and what they believe in, and I believe I want to bring about a positive change revolution to UK mental health care, and I will. Hello, officer.
Because obviously I need to make sure the vehicle is registered, you and you're insured to drive it.
Yes, I am, officer.
Who is the vehicle registered to?
Myself, officer.
And what is the name it would be registered to, so we can confirm that?
Do I need to disclose that information?
Well, yes, because we've
officer?
got a power to request that information under the Road Traffic Act. I need to make sure you're insured to drive the vehicle. You
I
have
am,
a license
officer.
to drive. Yeah, but if you don't tell us your details, how can I confirm that?
I'm filming a live video, officer.
I know you're filming a live
I'd
video.
rather not
That
disclose
doesn't
my
really bother
personal
me.
details
Right.
on a live video.
You have an obligation under the Road Traffic
Well,
Act
I can show
to
you.
confirm
I
these
can-
Have you got a driving licence that you
Yes,
can show us?
sir.
That's all we need.
Yes. I can
Just
show
these
you
officers
off
need to
camera.
record these details.
Yes, there you go.
Right. Is that what we were expecting?
Yep.
Right, lovely. Fine.
There you
Off
go.
we go. Thank you very much.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you so much, officers, and thank you for your cooperation, and thank you for allowing me to stand up for my rights of freedom of speech and freedom to protest. It's very appreciated. If you're interested in having a look at my campaign on social media, it's #CD_BuyBan. I'm going to be doing this for as long as I'm alive, basically, officer, or until I've achieved the positive change revolution to UK mental health care, whichever happens first. I believe that will happen before I die, officer.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So the inspector's giving you the advice. Stay safe today, obviously.
Thank
it's
you,
a busy
officer.
area.
I will do. I'll be putting some sun cream on as well, officer, because I'm getting burnt already. So, thank you so much, officer. I really appreciate your cooperation and allowing me to stage this demonstration here.
Stay safe, sir.
Thank you, officers. Take care now. Take care now. Goodbye. As you can see, guys, if you stand up for what you believe in, you can achieve stuff. I'm down here on my own. I'm on my own. That could have been quite intimidating if I didn't have a camera shoved in their faces, streaming live to all the viewers on social media. As you can see, the police officers were served a dose of Chandog justice there. I've got the power of live streaming cameras. I'm stood outside Parliament. I will be playing loud music. They said the event's going on till 2 p.m. They said I can't move the vehicle till then. I don't plan on going anywhere until 11 o'clock tonight. I've got food and water in the van. I've got cigarettes as well. I might need to go to the toilet, in which case I'll lock the van and go and find a toilet and then unpack everything and then set back up again and crank out some tunes. There's going to be thousands of people down here today. I'll probably be on the news at some point, so watch this space. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video now because all the police officers have left. They've allowed me to remain here with my sound equipment going because I stood for what I believe in, I fought for what I believe in, and I believe I need to stay here outside Parliament at a large event with thousands of people, to show everybody that I'm a man of my word. I fight for what I believe in, and nobody will stop me because I've got a camera and I can go live to everybody and film all interactions with all authorities. Yes, exactly. I was waiting for the technology to catch up. Anyway, guys, I've rattled on for quite long enough now. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Have a great day. If you're in London, come down to Old Palace Yard outside Parliament. You'll see me down here playing some loud music. Peace, love, positive vibes, Chandog.